Let's check this out, bro, real quick. Let's check this out.
So let's give some initial thoughts about it so far. I feel like the pace is slowed down, and I think that's going to be a very good thing for players that are returning, expecting a more traditional Verdansk experience. Omni movement's a little bit slower with the sprint speed and like the burst of speed when you slide, obviously, but it still feels pretty impactful. Balloons and ascenders and all that. So the original chopper is back, which is OP, and driving around with like LTVs in any vehicle you can find is kind of the go-to for vehicle rotation and getting into fights quickly if you're trying to play like that. Contract multiplier is back, which is pretty cool, but I feel like I'm not getting enough money to make constant fighting feel worth it, and almost like replenishing loot and money and stuff like that like isn't good enough off of just the base ground loot. I think I want just like a little bit more of a base ground loot buff, plates, cash, like a little bit better flow there, and the ground loot guns seem to be terrible. But besides that, I think this is necessary for Warzone to like bring a lot of people.
I agree with him, bro. I think ground loot's been pretty ass so far. Which I'm trying to figure out, bro, if that's necessarily a bad thing. I mean, it's obviously very frustrating when you go into a building and all you pick up are like, what's the updated Dragunov called? A PVD or something? I picked up an ungodly amount of Dragunov snipers yesterday, and I think I shot it like one time. But it's honestly, again, like the fact that this game has loadouts, like when you think about a battle royale and the battle royales that we played in the past, the fact that loadouts became such a prevalent and integral part of Call of Duty, or at least Warzone, it's actually pretty unique in the sense that you have so many opportunities to have like the most overpowered weapon in your hand at all times, and everybody does. And so this way, with the ground loot being pretty mid and there being scarce money and just less money on the map across the board, it's not as easy to get your loadouts. So it kind of keeps you in check a little bit. You're not like spawning into this game and getting ran down by like a million people almost immediately with jackals and fucking the best ARs and the best guns in the game, the meta weapons within the first couple minutes, which again, I actually think is like a pretty good thing. Like with how punishing this game has been and already felt with the TTK and just the lack of loot on the ground and money, I actually think it makes everybody value their life even more, because once you go to the gulag once, you're already in a lot of trouble, even if you come out of it alive. So I don't know, man. I feel like maybe like, and you really get excited, at least I do, when you get some good ground loot off the rip, bro. Like yesterday, I got like a KSV a couple times, a kilo, an AMAX, and I'm like, holy shit, I'm ready to go frag. Let's ride right now. Let's do it.
People back and stay on the game, because it's not a bunch of people flying around on balloons. Verdansk feels really big because of it. And I feel like people like the pacing. They slow down the first couple of circles. The pace of the game is slowed down a lot more than what we're used to on Urzikstan. And I think that's hopefully going to be really good for people. Then talking about the new guns, the AMAX, the Kilo, the GRAW, the HDR, they're all extremely easy to use and very, very strong. And that's going to bring back a lot of nostalgia that people are like, they feel very familiar. And I think people are going to really like using them.
Chalky
so that's
milk.
good. Overall, if I have to give a grade for my day one of Verdansk, I'm going like an A-, maybe a B+ around there. My worry about it is if I'm going to continue having enough fun with the pace being slowed down. It's nice to feel like a more traditional BR experience. I feel that might be a good thing.
I think Tyler said it best right there, right at the end. I'm very curious, Chalky Milk, I'm going to get to you in a second, brother. I'm very curious to see how long that this continues to be fun. I mean, that's kind of like what I put out in my tweet yesterday. I don't... It's inevitable that we're going to get frustrated with the pace of play. I think that happens with any game that you play far too much. But all I know is right now, I'm enjoying Verdansk, and I think they did a really, really good job with everything that I've seen thus far. I like the slower pace, and I'm surprised by that. I really do.